And my goal is to somehow convince Luke to let me get them on this channel. I highly doubt that he will let me do it. But maybe if I get enough donations, like, share, and subscribes, I can afford to pay them to come here. So then I can do whatever the fuck I want. NANI? Dynamite! Alright, let's get into it. Clap it. Yo, what's up? Let's talk about the NFL draft, because the NFL draft is constantly coming up in my family. You want to know something that I found out to be super interesting about football? A lot of people, like, they always say like some weird shit to me, like, "Oh man, you're big as fuck. Do you play football or something?" And they always make that shoulder move. Like, what is it about this shoulder move that makes you think like is that something football players do? I don't know. Maybe it's just them showing, "Oh, you're jacked. You're super big," but it's super strange. But there's a lot of people who don't know, like, my football past. A lot of people don't know I played in the NFL. A lot of people don't know I played for a Super Bowl winning team. A lot of people just don't know. They don't know I was preseason All-American this, whatever. I don't take it seriously enough. Football was such a game to me. Like, win, lose, or draw, it was such a fucking game to me. And I love football more for the people that I came into contact with than I ever did the game. I was a person who never played any of that. And of course, take this with a grain of salt. I'm a physical specimen. That's just something you have to understand. No injuries, no nothing that. 6'4", 300 plus pounds. I was a sheer specimen. Like, I'm not natural in occurrence of life. With that being said, I was able to accomplish so much more. I was able to do so much more because I just had this power, speed, and aggression that most people didn't see. And I attribute a lot of that to my wrestling career. If wrestling was something I could take professionally, I would have wrestled way past playing football. I would have preferred to have wrestled than play football. Wrestling was always more interesting to me. It was always more fun. And it was just one-on-one. It's you versus one motherfucker. So if you lose, you got your ass beat and there was a witness there and he was the ref. So there ain't no complaining. Like, if somebody drops a pass and I beat my dude every single play, I can live with that. But we can still lose the game. Wrestling, no. Once I drop you on your neck, that's it. I've won. You going to sleep. And I love that ability to have that, but it still doesn't change the fact that, football is always going to be a big part of my family's life. It's always going to be a big part of my life. And even though I don't watch it as much now and as much as pay attention to it, is without a shadow of doubt, it has an impact on what my brother did. And Luke, who we're very proud of, clap it up for Luke. Luke is an agent who works specifically with football players, and he gets them signed to making those big steps. And to have watched this kid, and I know Luke will never watch this, but I'm gonna brag on this kid for a little bit. To watch the feats and the steps that this kid has gone to, I want y'all to know that this man drafted 2 first-round picks, 13 and 28, rocking a Nissan Maxima and a suit from 2 years ago that his twin sister bought for him. Clap it motherfucking up. All right, clap it up. Clap that motherfucker up. Because when I tell you this kid is the most humble, hardworking, just no bullshit person ever. And there was something that always bothered me about Luke from a young age. It was just that his sheer lack of focus. It bothered me to the point where I started fights with him on a day-to-day basis, because he just never had a burning fire. I never saw the will of fire for all you Naruto people. Like, it just didn't burn. Like, I thought basketball was going to be his thing, but he didn't take basketball anywhere. He then started to play football, but then he lived in my shadow, because it was like, well, you're not as strong and big as your brother, so why are you here? And I was always worried. I was always concerned, but by God, he figured it out. And he figured it out in such a way that you don't have to play. You just have to show players the way. And that's what a sports agent does. And because of his hard work, his tenacity, his unbridled discretion for making sure the deal gets done, he was able to secure 2 prominent athletes from the championship Georgia Bulldogs last year. They won the championship, and he secured these 2 athletes, one of them being Jordan Davis. If you're watching on IG or wherever the hell, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, IG. and all those great places like, share, and subscribe. Please come down to whatever place you want to watch so you can see what we're talking about here. Jordan Davis, who got drafted number 13 overall pick to the Eagles, which is it's actually a great team for him. Like, it's a great team for him. But I got to watch him develop like Jordan Davis and work with him and get this kid into the best shape of his life to perform at the peak of his abilities. And it paid off. And the whole time Luke was doing this, he was juggling so much. He was going through so much. And it was really heartbreaking. Not even heartbreaking. It was really tough as a person who he used to come to in the past for advice and help and how to do things, not to be able to know what to do next for him, because he's walking in uncharted territories. And the only advice I could ever give him was just to keep going forward, because that's all I ever knew. That's all I ever had. That's all I ever knew how to do, was to keep moving forward. But success follows this kid around, and it'll continue to follow him around. In his first debut, he was able to secure, in his agency, the only 2 first-round draft picks. There were a few others that came out of there, but he got them to rank the highest as a rookie. So, like, the kid is a phenom. He's a beast. And now I can start talking about Jordan. Jordan Davis, number 99, who was the nose tech, but he really has the ability to move anybody he wants. If you're not double teaming this kid, he's gonna get penetration and push on that. So there's no room for running here. And in the passing downs, if he's stuck on the field, he'll be able to hurt that. A lot of talk came out about his conditioning and stuff like that. And he's allowed, when you're his size, so it's 6'10", 300 plus pounds, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want. But he's gonna develop what I like to call a motor. He's gonna get his motor, and he's gonna learn how to play with his motor. He's just got to be able to understand the play schemes and the things of that nature. But ultimately, it's a wonderful pick for him. Philly always has a great defensive early season, but their depth chart seems to fall off, and it makes it hard for them to make a run in the playoffs if they make it that far. I'm more worried about the offensive capabilities of Philly, if anything, right? That's my concern, because the defense is sold up, and it's sold up because now on those 3rd and shorts, you got a fucking roadblock in Jordan Davis. You got some issues you got to deal with. So I think this is a great fit for Jordan Davis. I think that I'm an Eagles fan now, for sure. I love that both the players my brother recruited went to green teams, and green's my favorite color. It used to be one of my favorite colors. It's currently black, but good. I think this is a great fit for him. I wish him nothing but luck. So proud of him, and just the work, because I've seen Jordan like struggle, his lows. The SEC championship, he had a really bad game. He recovered and really dominated in the national championship game, put his full entire skill set on display. And it was wonderful to see. It was truly wonderful to see. So I wish him nothing but luck. We're going to come down to Philly. Jordan, we're going to come see you play. The whole squad. Like, I'm pretty sure he's met Luke's twin sister, Nafi. You guys know Nafi. I'm saying her name like y'all don't know who the hell she is. But I don't believe I've ever met Jordan or Devonte. I just haven't had time to be around them like that. But it's super interesting. And we can talk a little bit about Devonte, who's going to the Packers. I believe he was picked up 28 overall. 28th overall pick. This Devonte I really feel like I connect with, honestly, because me and him had similar play styles. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Devonte play because he plays a lot like me. He was the 3 tech. He was a mover. He had hands. And the kid can run. He can track down the ball. The ball was always there when he gets it. And I watched a lot of his highlights, and I couldn't help but see this resemblance. So I was always not concerned because I didn't think he was going to make it. I was concerned that people weren't going to take him seriously. Like, people weren't going to see the benefit of having someone like him on the team. And this is the problem that I felt that I ran into when I was in the NFL. Because of my HBCU experience, there was a lot of nuances I didn't understand about playing in the big leagues. Like it's not as coordinated as I thought it would be. It wasn't as structured as I thought it would be. It was just like you get out there, you try and make a play, and if you can't, you can't. But it was almost like a grab bag. And I played for the New York Giants. At the time, they had a defensive package called the NASCAR package, which comprised of Kane, Pops, which his name was really Bernie, but they called him Pops because he had been 10 years strong, OCU Manure, and JPP. And they were considered the NASCAR package because all four of them had the abilities to basically rush the passer from any position. From tackle, nose, or edge, you could put them on any of them, and they could rush the passer. It was amazing to see them play. But from that speed and aggression that they had at the front line came a lot of unorganization, and what they got exposed early in the playoffs, but not taken advantage of in the playoff was if you had a good running back, they were susceptible to draw screens. Draws more because the blocks had to stay on screens, not so much because JPP and OCU Manura had the ability to literally be sucked into a screen and drop back and intercept the ball. It happened 3 times. And in the 3 times that it happened, they stopped throwing screen passes to the Giants. And it's crazy to think about, but that's just how good they were. But from that, I felt like I had so much room and opportunity to grow. That was the time I was able to get a hit on Tom Brady. Yeah, shout out to me, knocking Tom Brady out. Can't believe that man's still playing. But that's something that I'm super eager to see them do with the Packers. And the Packers are always playoff bound, and it's their defense that tends to let them down, or a crybaby version of Aaron Rodgers in the third quarter. Packers always lose the first round. After the first round bye, they always lose the first game they play, third quarter. Mark my words. It's just how it happens. But I don't think Devonte playing for Green Bay is going to make me a Green Bay Packer. I will have an indifference to Green Bay now. I will no longer just outright hate them, but I have an indifference to them now. And I'm eager to see what he can do, the combinations of how they're going to mix and match these people's playing style. But ultimately, it's a great thing to see. And whether you always hope that they stick with the same team that they get drafted to. That's the thing. You want a legacy player, but there's group space and opportunity. I think that they both land in a great place, and I'm eager to see what's going to go on. But for all the great highs that happened in the NFL draft, there's always got to be some controversy, and this controversy right here was a tad bit concerning. Women at Titans Traylon Burks draft party caused stir. This photo in itself is very. This photo right here just gave me chills because we know about our boy Toby, right? The dude that was killed by his girlfriend, his white girlfriend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, this is his fiance. Cool, no problem there. But what are all these other people doing here? It's clearly divided, and it's a very telling picture. And I don't know, because maybe I do know, because I don't see a black male father figure. Does he have a father figure? I'm curious to know this. Search. Because if he had a black male father figure, I don't think this image happens. Father. Yeah, he was raised by his grandfather. So for me, like, that image just plays in my. It's just not a good. And I don't know if he knows this. Like, it's just so many things. But he's in a different world now. He plays and acts in a different world. But I can't help but think like, And these are some of the comments. Every time I see this picture, I just laugh. Ain't no way this man got this many white women. Like, it looked like a female sorority party. It's just weird. It's just like there's literally red cups everywhere. There was nothing about this picture that screamed classy, professional, nothing. But I mean, it's the happiest day of his life, and you just hope that you hope this picture doesn't come back to haunt him. Surrounded by premium milk. Get this man a gold jacket. That's crazy. The whole D1 athlete white women thing is a joke. I see it's actually a real thing. No, man. They're lighting his ass as the phone call breaks is going to Tennessee. My man's has more white girls than the sorority group. Boy, it had all the milk in the draft party. Would have been in that. I just don't get it. Pull up. I don't know. It's hey, I can't knock it. More. I wish him nothing but success, but be very fucking careful, man. Be very, very fucking careful, my guy. Yo, that's my feeling on it. Congratulations to all the people that got picked up and drafted. Who got left behind? There was the linebacker from Georgia who got left behind because he didn't have my brother as an agent. Let's be real. Let's just be real. But he actually made it to the Eagles too. It's interesting to see how some of these people slid because they just weren't prepared for the draft. But congratulations to everybody, especially Jordan Davis and Devonte Wyatt. You guys are going to have prosperous careers. Continue to follow the guidance that my brother set up for you guys. That's pretty much it. Follow the keys to success. My brother has them. And my goal is to somehow convince Luke to let me get them on this channel. I highly doubt that he will let me do it. But maybe if I get enough donations, like, share, and subscribes, I can afford to pay them to come here. So then I can do whatever the fuck I want. Clap it. Big dreams. We don't ask for handouts. We're paying full price, and I'm going to have my way with these motherfuckers. So we'll do that. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into my favorite segment of the show. I didn't even look at the camera.